in the tabernacle. After God's people left Egypt, they walked a long time in the desert. They would only stay for a while in one place and then they would move to another. They did not have houses to live in because they had to keep traveling toward their new land. All of the people had tents, but the Lord wanted to build a special kind of tent. This tent would be very beautiful. It would be made of rich cloths and contain furniture inside and made of gold. It would be put in the middle of the whole camp where everyone could see it. Do you know why this tent would be so special? Because this tent was to be the Lord's tent. It would be called tabernacle. The word tabernacle means tent or dwelling place. Of course, the Lord can live and be everywhere He wants at any time, but He chose to make the tabernacle His home and special place so that the people would think of Him every day. While the Israelites were on their journey through the desert, they would know that God was in the tabernacle when they saw a cloud in the tabernacle tent. In the day, God's presence would be seen as a cloud, and at night as a fire. When the cloud or fire moved to a new place, the people could pack up the tabernacle tent and furniture and move it into the new place. The Lord Moses and Aaron's family or tribe to take care of the tabernacle. They were descendants of Jacob's son, Levi. Sometimes they were called Levites. Only Levites could work in the temple. Some of the workers would be called priests. The priests would help take care of the tabernacle, and they would help the people worship the Lord. They would always wear special cloths and clothes in the temple. God chose Aaron to be the head priest of the high priest. His sons would help him. While Moses was on Mount Sinai, God gave him instructions for building the tabernacle. The materials were to be gathered, and then the tabernacle and the furniture for it would be made. God gave very specific instructions to Moses. The tabernacle and the furniture were to follow God's pattern exactly. The tabernacle tent that was divided into two parts. The first part was called the holy place, and only priests could go inside. The other part was called the most holy place, and this is where God would live. Only the highest priest could go in the most holy place, and only one time each year. The Ark of the Covenant was the most important piece of the furniture in the tabernacle. It was the wooden box, but it was covered on the inside and out with gold. Connected to the top of the ark were statues of two angels called the cherub facing each other. The two stone tablets of the Ten Commandments were kept inside as well as some manna to remember how God took care of His people. Golden lampstand. The lampstand was made of pure gold, and the 7 lights burned with olive oil. A table made of acacia wood and covered with gold was made so that 12 loaves of bread could always be set on it. Aaron and the other priests were allowed to eat this bread. The tabernacle was a place where God lived, so everything about it was special. It even smelled good. There was even an altar of incense so that the incense could be burned all the time. This altar was made from wood and also overlaid with gold. Another altar was called the brazen altar, and it was very big. The altar was made from wood but was covered all over with bronze. This was the place where the animal sacrifices were made. Now, because of the tabernacle was the place God lived, everything was about it was pure, and there was beautiful bronze basin for the priests to use for washing themselves. When the priests were performing their duties in the tabernacle, they always wore special clothes. Aaron, the high priest, even had a special breastplate that he wore. This breastplate had beautiful stones on it. A lot of things were needed to build the tabernacle. Cloth, jewels, gold, special wood, animal skins, and all sorts of rich items would be needed. People with special talents would have to work very hard to build the tabernacle. The Lord did not want the people to buy the things for the temple. He wanted the people to give them all the items. God wanted the people to show their love for Him by giving their own things. He also wanted the people to work for free in building the temple. Even if they did not have anything to give, they could still help with the work. Moses told the people what God had asked them to do, to give offerings willingly from the heart to make the tabernacle. Where would the material come from? God's people who were in a desert area far away from any shops or people to trade with. There was no place where they could buy these supplies. They only had what they had been able to pack hurriedly when they left Egypt. But they did have some clothing and articles of silver and gold that Egyptians had given them just before they left. As the Israelites remembered what God had done for them, they wanted to show their gratitude. One by one, they began bringing their offerings to the Lord. As the materials arrived, Moses instructed the workers to begin. All kinds of craftsmen were needed. Those who would work or could work with wood and metal, those who could design and work with gems, those who could sew and weave and embroider, and those who could spin and make cloth. Lots of people volunteered to help. Then something unusual happened. The people brought more and more things. The people were bringing so many offerings that they had to be asked to stop. The workmen had all they needed to finish the job that God had given them. The work was completed in a little over 5 months. They had followed God's instructions, and the beautiful tabernacle was ready for worship. When he saw that everything was just like God had commanded, Moses and his helpers set up the tabernacle in the middle of the camp. The priests began their work. The giant pillar of cloud and fire that the Israelites had followed since they left Egypt and moved and settled in the tabernacle, God was now in his home, his new home.